Now, aren't we at Sun News in the media a lot the past 24 hours? And I guarantee this will go on for days and days to come. And I think you know why. Look, if you've spent any time in a real dictatorship, you will know what lack of freedom, and in particular lack of freedom of speech, is all about. It bites at the soul. It burns at the edges of your very being. When you return to the free world, you realize just how vital the liberties we tend to take for granted really are. We are free in Canada, of course we are, but do we genuinely have a media that represents all opinions and all ideas? Well, you know the answer as well as I do, if indeed you have any sense of objectivity and fairness. Now, I say all this because we at Sun News are currently applying to have the same sort of license as most of the other guys, CTV and CBC, even BBC Canada and CNN, for goodness sake. Frankly, I'm being candid, as it stands now, we can't and won't survive. We're in only 40% of homes. We're all over the dial. You have to pay to have us. We're very, very high up. That means we can't establish a sufficiently large audience to sell advertising properly and get the numbers that we need. The race is fixed, really. Like asking one athlete to carry a lead weight and only use one leg while the others are allowed to run as fast and free as they like. So, let's make this clear. We don't want special rights or privileges, just good old Canadian fairness. After all, we produce 96 hours a week of unique and original Canadian broadcasting. We employ well over 100 Canadians, and all this would end if we don't get this new license. Obviously, there are people who do not like what we say and what we are. Yeah, but what's your point? Of course there are. Just as I, for example, don't like what other broadcasters might say, but I believe in their right to say it and will defend that right with all my might. It's what being Canadian and democratic and fair-minded is all about. Those people who want to silence us don't believe in free speech. They believe in their speech and nobody else's. We bring a different voice to Canadian television, and one that is as Canadian as anybody else in this country, and perhaps even more so. We're not Fox News. We're not the CBC. We are us. Look, I've written 14 books, some of them boring literary biographies, but others rather successful. My last 2 books were on the bestseller list in Canada for 18 weeks. Ezra Levant has also written bestsellers. Brian Lilly's last book on the CBC has sold tens of thousands of copies. Ezra, Brian, Charles Adler, David Aiken, and I, we've won dozens of awards for our journalism and broadcasting in Canada and abroad. Our news team is also outstanding, and we have studios from coast to coast. We've broken so many big stories. We ask questions other people will not. We go to places that other networks just won't go. There will be people, powerful people, special interest groups, activists and zealots who will try to oppose us and to limit our free speech and your right to hear it. Ask yourself why that is. Being ignored is a terrible punishment, is it not? Well, we're going to ignore you guys. The next few days, the next few weeks will be a watershed in Canadian broadcasting and indeed Canadian freedom. Choose sides. Please choose sides and please act now before it's too late.